Yo, so I'm here again with Pot of Mold. Now, last time we did all ranking of Gen 1 Pokemon. Now we're going to be doing Gen 2. So, Pot of Mold, what's your thoughts on Gen
Oh,
2 right now? Like,
Gen
before we go
2.
for everything, what's your opinion?
Um, I've never thought it had anything super duper special. However, it does have quite a few real good ones that obviously are a staple to any of my personal Pokemon teams, such as my boy Typhlosion.
Yeah,
Lovely
Typhlosion's
dude,
awesome.
even better Cyndaquil. Mm,
Yeah.
solid, solid 10 out of 10 design.
I think that Johto is one of those regions where they have really high highs and really low lows. Like some of these Pokemon are absolute garbage that shouldn't really exist. Well, some of them are really, really good and some of the best Pokemon ever made. And starting off, let's start with starters, okay? So as we were going on with the first region video, we were saying like we want to rank like all of the very specific Pokemon, like for example, like uh starters to one another. And honestly, looking at the starters, I feel like it's really lackluster. Like sure, like Feraligator's pretty cool and Typhlosion's really cool, but like honestly, they're not too special though, you know? Like
They, yeah, they don't have a ton of incredible features. They're
they're
not
not
like super fantastic designs.
they're not
I
horribly
see. I,
designed,
I assume.
but they're nothing special, you know?
Right.
Especially Meganium. Like Meganium's like the worst starter ever made, like full on like battle wise, design wise, anything. Like it's trying to like it has the same stats as or not the same stats, but the same stat distribution as Venusaur. But the thing is with Venusaur, first off, Venusaur is awesome. But the stats are in better places where honestly it could have worked. But the thing is, the moveset is so bad, and it's like it's just a pure grass type. Like there are much better grass types that are defensive Pokemon, like Amoonguss, do. Anyways, and Theraform, because like Theraform is absolutely amazing. The stats are great. There's really good typing of grass and steel, so like you're only weak to fire and fighting will also be resistant by like 10 different types. And your stats are absolutely like maximum of where you want it to be. Meanwhile, Meganium, what does Meganium really have as special? Like, I think it gets like the dual screens, like light screen, for example. But like honestly, it's really not that good. And I don't even think it gets Leech Seed. Oh, it does get Leech Seed, never
Yeah.
mind.
It's not a great Pokemon. I still kind of like it. It's a little goofy looking, which I can appreciate, but overall it's just just nothing fantastic.
Yeah, it's nothing special. Like the design's not horrible, but it's also just like it's just like there. Like what's special about it? Going into
Right.
Typhlo to the Cyndaquil line. Now, personally, I love Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil was my first ever Pokemon ever chosen. It's easy in my like top favorite like maybe like 20 Pokemon. It used to be my very first my number one favorite, but it kind of just lost a little spark from it because like it wasn't that useful in battle too much. Like you get unlike like Meganium, like you can definitely use it, and it's actually pretty good in a playthrough or even somewhat in lower tiers in like competitive Pokemon because I like competitive Pokemon and like the Hisuian form. Even though I don't think we should technically count like forms, I think the form should only be counted in the whatever generation they were added in. But the I think the
Right.
Hisuian form like it looks horrible about the flames, but with the flames, it looks pretty nice. But I think Hisuian Typhlosion was such a disappointment though, because like they didn't really change anything. Honestly, the Suin starter evolutions kind of sucked, except for Decidueye. I love Decidueye's uh, I love Decidueye's form
Yeah, he's
because
pretty sick looking.
they made it look like a samurai, and you have the red and like the autumn colorations. It's so
Or
cool. Like
yeah,
there's no other grass starter with the autumn like leaves. I don't think there's many grass types that is
it's
autumn,
pure oversight.
right?
Other than like,
Not counting like the
well,
deerling forms, because
no.
obviously they're
Other
gonna
than
have.
Salt,
Yeah, because like their whole thing is season, so it makes sense that they would have it. But I don't think any other grass type has any kind of like autumn type, right?
right? Yeah, I don't think so. Unless
Maybe
Burmy does. I don't think Burmy does.
Burmy, no, Burmy
That's
doesn't.
not a grass type.
Burmy is sand, trash, and just regular leaves. So yeah.
Nice work,
Anyways,
Burmy.
we I like Burmy too. Burmy's just like chill. Anyways, we kind of like went into a different tangent, but like that's fine. But like Totodile,
Yeah,
I I
Totodile
like Totodile. I think the
is a cute guy.
Feraligatr line's pretty cool. Um, again, it's solely water type, which I think is one of the reasons why the Johto starters is pretty overall because they just aren't special because of the typings. I feel they're just pure types, and I feel like most of
Uh-huh.
the starters really like have isn't really liked too much if unless they have like a uh a secondary typing, except for like Sceptile, right?
Yeah, yeah, true.
Just because
I feel like it's just because of Pokemon still being somewhat new, but
I don't
yeah,
think it's that bad having like pure type Pokemon, but like even if you think of like the starter though, but like Gen 8, all of the starters were like all pure types and everyone hates them, and I don't really like Gen 8 either. I think they're kind of boring, but yeah.
yeah.
Uh
Don't ask my opinion on Gen 8. I think it kind of sucked. I was not a fan of Gen 8,
uh,
but yeah,
Gen I kind of started to like less like I started to dislike it less because of how badly I think Scarlet and Violet was. So I kind of like I'm giving Sword and Shield a little bit more of a pass, you know. But yeah,
yeah,
I don't really care for
that's
it
fair.
either. Uh, ranking the starters of Johto. I think they're below Gen 1 easily. Like that's easy like lowering, right?
Oh yeah,
Cuz Gen
no more
1
theories.
as much as everyone wants to like talk smack about it cuz like Gen 1ers or whatever and they get too much love. Gen 1 genuinely do has some of the best like starters. Like they're really well made. They're iconic for a reason because they're really well designed. They're just really cool looking. I still think Blastoise should have been a steel typing, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, what would you rank the Johto starters in your opinion?
Um, for Meganium, I'd say,
I
or the
mean, like
Meganium line in
as a
general,
whole, as a whole.
I'd give it a 7. As a whole, I'd give it a 8 out of 10.
Okay. Did we ever give like rankings to like the Gen 1 starters? I don't think so. Like as a whole.
I don't
But
think so.
as a whole, I
We'll
would
have
say
to.
like the Gen 1 starters is like a 9. Like they're really solid. They're really, really good.
I just love the design of each of the fully evolved ones,
Yeah,
even if it is
they're just so well made. Like you can't even
so good.
really complain. Even with Charizard, like Charizard just got isn't even like I don't think the Char if Charizard was less like favored. I don't even think anyone would hate it. I think everyone would like it even more. But the fact that Game Freak just shoves it down everyone's throats up to the point where they're uh not letting like Venusaur and Blastoise having any love just ruins it. Because I don't think a starter should be like. I don't think a certain starter of a trio should get more love than any of the other ones. Like obviously there's gonna be like the popular one, but I don't think it should be like Charizard, where Charizard was the only starter in Scarlet and Violet, and even in Sword and Shield until the DLC. It was just stupid to me.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But anyways, I would honestly, as starters, I think Gen 2 is probably like a 6 out of 10. Like, they're not bad, but like there's nothing special about them really. Like Feraligator's cool, like Typhlosion's cool, Meganium's meh, but they're nothing special, you know?
Right.
Like they're good designs, but like as starters, like starters are like the ones that Game Freak said that they work on the most, you know?
Yeah, and it should be like the most developed ones.
Which makes sense because you is the first Pokemon that you would choose. You will always have it on your team unless you want to use no starters, which I don't think most people do, unless the starters just really
Right.
suck.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was Gen 8
Next
for
up,
me.
Sentret and Furret.
10 out of
Um,
10. Boy can walk.
it does walk. It
I
does.
love
It
Red.
do be walking though, but
He's a very fluffy boy.
honestly, I don't know how I feel about them. I just never really cared for them. You know?
I never really liked Sentret, but Furret is massive glow up. And
Yeah, I think Furret's definitely much better than Sentret. I think Sentret is just so like I forget it even exists. That type of thing.
yeah,
Like Furret, at
like,
least Furret is like has a good design. Sentret is just like
mhm.
there.
Come on, dog. You were gonna make a raccoon dog or a Tanuki Pokemon, and that's what you came up with?
Mario stuff, I guess. Like honestly, it genuinely looks like a Mario character. Honestly,
It honestly does. It kind of looks like yeah.
oh, I never even
Oh,
realized that this was the eyes of Sentret. Wait, what?
you didn't? What did you think?
What? Okay, yeah,
What did
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah, yeah,
think?
okay. It didn't just have dots. It had like in the fan art. There's only dots. There's no in the actual like 3D games. Like that's the only time I ever really see Sentret. Sentret has a little like reflective in the eye dots. You know,
Oh, okay.
like I
I got
never seen
confused.
it look like this. Like it looks so dead. Like it doesn't look live,
He looks like he's
lifeless.
yeah.
I
He
never
looks sad.
realized that. I also think it's also supposed to be part rabbit too. You know.
Yeah, I think
With the
so.
ears. And
Ears.
I still think Rattata is so much better. Like it's just so iconic compared to Sentret and Furret.
Big time. Big
I
time.
I would also put Furret in the bottom right now. What about
You
you?
think so?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm a big fan. Honestly, okay. I like Rattata more than I like Sentret and Furret, but I do like Furret more than I like Raticate.
Raticate? That's fair.
Yeah.
So overall, but for the whole line, which one would you put together? Because I think if we're discussing like stuff like lines of like starters and like any specific like special ones that we're going through, I think we should count those as it is. You know?
Right.
So
Um, that line for its carrying hard, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5.
I honestly don't even know what I feel about him because I just don't care. Because it's 5. Because like 5 to me is sort of like it's just there, you know?
Yeah.
So I would definitely put
Well,
it
that
below Rattata and Raticate.
yeah, I'd give Rattata and Raticate like an 8 or 9,
I would put
probably an 8.
I would give it Rattata a 9 because the whole design is like there's supposed to be like kind of weakish Pokemon that you can use throughout the game, like at the start. Fur isn't really that
Yeah.
good, but like it evolves at level 15, so he gets a really quick stat boost. The thing is, I don't even think it doesn't even have any good moves. So like at least with like something like Raticate, Raticate's like gets like Crunch and like Hyper Fang really early on, I believe. When is it
That's
good?
true.
Yeah, you get Bite, you get Takedown, you get a Crunch, you get Super Fang, so it gets moves really early on. Doesn't it get Hyper Fang?
I
Wait.
think it does.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it does get Hyper.
Yeah, Hyper Fang was out in Gen whatever. Because I don't think Raticate was in there. Okay, yeah. I think as how it affects it, I think overall, I think Raticate is just really more well made compared to uh for as its role.
Fair enough.
Next up, Hoot Hoot in Noctowl. I feel like Noctowl and Hoot is the same idea as Pidgeot and Pidgey. They have solid designs, but they're really bland looking at them.
Hmm. No, yeah,
And
absolutely. I like Hoot Hoot. I don't really care much for, but Noctowl I think is pretty good. Um, for the longest time, I know everyone thought, or a lot of people thought this, but it was only up until like a year ago I found out that Hoot Hoot has 2 legs.
oh yeah, I think everyone realizes that. I think that kind of like hurts it though, right? Because like the one leg kind of like made it seem much more cooler and gave it more of an identity. Now it's like, oh, it
Yeah,
has 2 legs. It's like, okay,
yeah.
okay, I can't. It's so small, but like this is a first sprite, and it's like you can see how it's only have one leg, and like I wish there's like a better like, but like if you look at it, it looks like it's just one leg. I think honestly, do you think that Hoot Hoot was supposed to have one leg like at the start, and then Game Freak suddenly like made a weird change to it?
Maybe.
Oh wait, what's Beta Hoot
Maybe.
Hoot
Yeah.
and Noctowl? I like this was Beta Noctowl.
Holy crap! Oh my
It
goodness, it looked dope. Did have 1 leg.
it looks
It looked like
just like Pidgey, you know?
it
Like, it looks
does. It is just a giant Pidgey.
it looks
That's
extremely like
weird.
Pidgey, and I'm glad that they didn't choose this because it's just I feel like that it would just ruin the identity and would make it even more forgettable than it already is. You know, like
It would, but I think it looks like I love beta designs just cause he looks so goofy. I love it.
yeah, it's like eh. I I don't really care about Noctowl either because it's just not really fun to use. Because unlike at least it's better than PG where like PG you had to wait until like level 36 to use a fully evolved Pidgeot, which you can actually just use Fearow, which is much better. And you know what's funny? Fearow actually has the same like attack stat as Pidgeot. And Fearow evolved at level 20. So basically if you're using Pidgeotto or yeah, Pidgeotto, you get you're basically just using Fearow for like an extra like uh 20 like or 16 levels. So it's not even worth using it that well.
Right.
But yeah. Eh. I would put Pidgey or Noctowl at this as the same one, putting it low on lowest of the things right now.
Okay, okay. Fair enough.
I just think it's bland. The only thing I think that like PG or Noctowl has going for it is that Ash in the anime has a shiny one, and that's pretty much it.
Pidgeotos?
What?
Or he has a Pidgey? Shiny Pidgey?
No, Ash has a shiny Noctowl.
Oh, my bad. Does he really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
you
I
didn't know that?
I didn't actually Gen 2 ones.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Or no, you're right though.
I
Yeah, I
think it's
have
his
seen that.
only shiny Pokemon too.
Very
Yeah, that's
cool.
his only shiny Pokemon, I think.
Alright.
That's interesting. But yeah, that's like the only thing that it really has going for it. What about you? Where would you put it?
I'd give them about a 4.
Yeah, that's
It's
pretty
not
much the same.
yeah, it's not great. I'd give the next line even less though. Like,
Oh god.
I don't
Lady In is so stupid. Look at these stats. Look at them. What are you going to use this for? Just why? Like, I know everyone likes the design because it does have a cool design, but I feel like the design doesn't matter at all because it's just so bad. It's probably one of the worst. Honestly, it probably is one of the worst final evolutions of all time.
Yeah.
Like, just look how bad this thing is, and like, we don't even have to talk about it. Ladian is easily like probably the worst like early game bugs. Like, bug types already have a really bad reputation because I personally think like this might be a little bit biased because bug is my favorite typing. But I personally
Right.
think Bug isn't even that bad of a typing, and people overreact a little too much because it's really good defensively at the very least. And I think
Mhm.
Bug types have a really bad reputation because of these really bad early game bugs.
That's fair. That's
Moving on, Arios and Spinnerack. I really like these guys. I love them like full on. These guys are so cool. Like Arios' like colorations. Look how beautiful this thing is. Like I love the red. I love all of the colors. The purple, the yellow, the black. It all fits really well in. And it's pretty much just a reskin of Beedrill, except it's a little bit slower with a little bit better bulk, and that's pretty much it. Again, it's one of those early game bug Pokemon that were supposed to show you the point of evolution. But I feel like
right.
it does. I feel like that they do it a little worse because they level up at such a higher level, like level 22. That's too high for an early game bug Pokemon, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not fantastic, but it's still cool. Still a cool Pokemon.
It's really cool, but I don't think it fits its role that well.
Maybe not, but they need to start making like higher level or stronger bugs in general.
I mean, they have been starting to do that a lot. Like pretty much all of the like previous generation or what was it like the bug types from like the last few generations have been more and more useful than they were previously. Like pretty much all of the newer bugs at least have somewhat of a use. Like low kicks actually has a really good like usage actually. So what it does is that it has tinted lens. So what tinted lens does is like it nothing is not very effective to it pretty much. So like if it were to use a bug move, then it's just going to be neutral to pretty much everything. So that's really nice. So you give it first impression in Sucker Punch. and it will always hit priority moves for neutral, which is awesome. Strong.
Mhm.
So I think doing a really good job with that. But moving on from Ariados, I think Ariados serves it well. I personally like Ariados more than Beedrill and Butterfree, but like I don't like Ladian. So I don't
Hate
know.
Ladian.
I feel like I would have to put Kanto above Johto with bugs again because it's just not that useful, you know? They're not that
Yeah.
useful. They don't serve their purpose well. As much as I like Ariados, and I always been saying this since like Gen 7 that I want Ariados to get a new form ever. I just think they're not useful and they're just don't serve their purpose that well.
Yeah, that's a good point. But, again, making it a later game Pokemon would be pretty cool.
Yeah, having later there've been more later and later game bug Pokemon, which is cool. But going on to the next one, Crobat.
Ooh, mama. He's
Let's
good.
just be real.
He's
Crobat, I don't think anyone hates Crobat at all. Like I haven't seen a single person say that Crobat sucks or anything. I think everyone just loves Crobat because the design is just so good. And
love
it's genuinely strong. It made one of the more annoying Pokemon absolutely awesome. Like you get this game really early on in the game, and it's just actually does work. It's really fast, one of the fastest Pokemon. There's not a legendary in the game. I think it's like maybe tied with 10th place or ever. It's really good. It's really cool. The purple coloration is really, really awesome, and it's actually really useful.
love Crobat, hate his shiny.
What was that?
I love
You hate the
Crobat,
shiny?
but hate it. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't
Not a
think the
fan of the
shiny's
shiny.
bad. I think 3D ruined it. I think 3D ruined it because I think it looked pretty decent, like in the 2D
A
games.
lot of yeah,
Like this
a
just
lot
looks
of shinies.
ugly. The 3D one just makes it look ugly. I think the 2D one was actually pretty nice.
It was pretty sick, but
Uh,
I haven't seen
shiny Crobat. Let's just see it more. Yeah, like this is pretty ugly.
yeah.
I think it looks good in 2D. I think it looks good in 2D. But yeah. Crobat's an easy, like, top tier Pokemon though. Crobat's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I love Crobat. Like, this is what I was talking about when Johto has some of the lowest lows with like these guys, but some of the highest highs.
Yeah.
So I think Crobat really like is really cool. I love Crobat. Top tier Pokemon, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Do you have anything else you
Thanks.
want to say about Crobat, or should we move on?
Nope. That pretty much covers it.
Okay, fair enough. So Chinchou and Lantern. Do you want to go ahead? Because I'm pretty sure you like them a lot more than me.
Um, I'm not like super crazy about them. I like their shinies. I think Chinchou looks neat and Lantern's pretty good.
Oh, really?
Uh,
I thought you told me that you really liked them before.
I really like Chinchou, I'd say, but not a
Hmm.
huge fan of Lantern. Or no. I think it's just the
Oh,
goofy fishness.
you know what? I actually have a really cool thing about a Beta Lantern. Beta, Chinchou, and Lantern. Cause to see if we can find it. This is not the beta ones, but this is really cool. Um, so this is part of the okay, here it is. So this is like beta Chinchou line, right?
Oh snap! I've seen that the middle one
Yeah, yeah. I
before.
think they're all really cool, but they all been reworked to different Pokemon, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Chinchou Lantern was taken away from the like light elements, right? Anglerfish elements. The shark was swapped into Sharpedo, and then the eel was like swapped into for Hauntail. Like that's what
Yeah,
I think.
obviously.
And
No, yeah, absolutely.
I think it was a good design change because like these guys just look well, I think like they look pretty cool, but I think they're just really like bland looking.
Yeah. I think
Like
the
you can't
middle one still.
like the middle one's still really cool, but I still think Sharpedo's like a better design because it still looks pretty like basic.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Even with I still think it's really cool, but I think it's like pretty basic. Like the anchor is pretty cool, but yeah. Uh okay, here's some of the more mid Pokemon. I don't really care for the baby Pokemon, you know?
Yeah,
I really
I don't
I
really
really just don't care
know.
for them.
I used to like how there were smaller versions of like the bigger ones, but they really don't really do much.
Like it's a cool idea that they made, like, because Gen 1 or Gen 2 uh introduced breeding and like eggs and everything, so it makes sense for them. And they serve their role well with like showing you how like eggs work. But I just don't like them. Like they're just useless. Like you have no use for them after you just hatch them, you know?
Yeah.
Like at least with this, like certain Pokemon who evolve, like it makes sense. Okay, you're just going to like use them for a while until they evolve. These guys, what's the point of them other than that? Give me a second.
Right.
Let me get my charger real quickly because I forgot it.
Yeah, no problem.
Ugh. Let me grab this. Anyways, yeah, I just think baby Pokemon, with a few exceptions, are really, really good. Are really bad.
Yep. Got
I
that
think
mixed up a
there's a
little
few
bit.
babies that are good.
Some of them.
Like Tyrogue. I think Tyrogue fits and makes sense, right? It's
Well, yeah.
tying in to the
Um,
Hitmons, as well as like giving a really cool idea of how a Pokemon evolves.
yeah, that was a
But
good
these guys
one.
are just lame. I don't really
Yeah.
consider I won't consider like Togepi as a baby like as these guys because at least it evolves into something different. But since we're not counting Togekiss in Gen 2, this line is absolutely horrible. Like why did they give this a lot like why does this evolve into this? Why is this the final form Togetic? Ugh.
Yeah.
Like Togetic just looks like you know what it looks like? Actually? What's it called? Twilight uh like Princess Oko bird? This guy.
Really?
Does it not? Kind of? Like they have the same body shape, you know?
Yeah, they're the same shape. Give me that.
Like obviously like it's in a completely different art style and it looks a lot different, but like the what the heck? Oh, okay. Anyways, I just think they're really not cool. But yeah,
Fair enough.
going on to the secondary bird Pokemon in the region, Xatu and Natu. I genuinely really like Xatu and Natu. I think the designs are so cool. And Xatu is supposed to actually have a pre-evolution other than Xatu.
Was it really?
Yeah, like this was like the actual line.
Oh, snap.
I really
I
like
feel
the
like
middle
I
stage.
think
You cut off. Could you repeat that again?
I think they should have kept him.
I think they should have
Because
kept it. It would actually make Zatu probably stronger because they would give it better stats, most likely.
right,
Maybe. And I
uh,
think it looks really cool, and I think they should have kept it. Like, I don't think it really fits like how Zatu is supposed to evolve. So I think if they change it slightly, like why did it give it a neck like that? Because Zatu doesn't have a neck. Uh, the really weird like legs don't really fit Zatu that well, and the tail doesn't make sense because I don't even think like Zatu gains much of a tail. You know.
yeah, but I mean,
I think it's a cool
I
design. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool design. I think it just doesn't fit the evolution too well, so I understand why they didn't kept it. Ugh.
so
Anyways,
you know
yeah, you can keep going.
what? Oh, I was done. You want to
Oh,
move on to
okay,
Marie?
gotcha. But I think Zatu and Natu are really, really cool. I love using them. They're just so much fun to use. Like in playthroughs, they're just fun. I like the designs. And Natu's cute. Natu just is just cute, you know? I
Yeah,
just like them. Uh I think Xatu and Natsu is a really good secondary bird Pokemon, you know?
yeah, absolutely. Plus, it's psychic type, which is a lot
It's
more
really cool.
variety than you birds. So yeah, it's neat.
I think it I think Xatu deserves more credit than it should. I think it's too forgettable for what it is. Like the design is really cool. Like I like the design of Natu and Xatu. The colorations are really cool too, you know?
Yeah, they are very very neat. They look like well, not to kind of reminds me of like a totem pole, which is neat.
I think that's like the whole
Also,
point though, right?
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And also
okay, no.
chest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just really cool. I think it's really well made. Um Going to Ampharos. So Ampharos was actually supposed to be like a dragon type too. Was there a beta as Ampharos?
I wish Ampharos was a dragon type. That would be cool.
Ampharos. Okay, no, there's not beta form. I don't really like that they gave what is this? Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. I don't really like that they gave Ampharos the dragon typing on the Mega Evolution. I just don't think it makes that many sense, you know?
Yeah, I wish they looked into it. If they had him a dragon type originally, then maybe they would be able to fix that. But
If they kept the
otherwise,
dragon to begin with, I don't really like mind it then, because like looking into it, why did it gain the dragon typing? It's a sheep that the whole evolution was losing the wool, and now it grows new wool, and now it's like a dragon typing. Why?
yeah, I don't know.
I wish they reworked the design because I don't think giving a dragon typing is that bad, especially since they were originally going to give it a dragon typing. But the design just sucks for that reason.
But he's got Dragon Balls.
Dragging on my balls, you know what I'm saying? You know? Anyways,
Anyway, yeah,
I think I think the Marie line is just all right. I don't really have any strong feelings to them.
I like him.
I
That's
think
about
they're
all I got.
I think they're just fine as it is.
Yeah,
Bellossom is one of those Pokemon like I don't even know why they made it. Like it's just kind of just there. Like it doesn't really do anything either. Like Vileplume
does
was much better to begin with.
it just puts you asleep in Smash?
True, that's the whole reason why they added it. But
Yep.
it doesn't really fit the Oddish line that well, honestly. Like looking into it, why is it part of the Oddish ones? I know in like Gen 2 they were also going to give like a new evolution to Bellsprout. Johto uh
Are they really?
Bellsprout evolution. Yeah, they were. Cause like they were counterparts. Here we are. It sucked too. Like
Uh,
it looks stupid. It just looks like a new Bellsprout, but it's thicker. Like that's full on what it is. And hair.
yeah, yeah,
I'm glad they didn't add it because I think the Victory Bell line itself is already really solid. And I don't think Bellsprout was necessarily needed to be added. Because it doesn't do anything. Uh Oddish Gloom Vileplume was much better as it is. The only cool thing about uh what's his name? Bellsprout is that I think Bellsprout is the only Pokemon upon evolution to lose a secondary typing. So it wasn't poison grass anymore. It's just grass, and I don't think there's any other Pokemon like that in the game. Like
yeah. Interesting.
there are
It's
Pokemon that will gain new
yeah.
typings, but I don't think there's any ones that will lose it other than Bellsprout, right?
I don't think so, which makes it unique, I guess.
But it's just forgettable because it's kind of mid.
Yeah,
Um, Meryl and Azumarill. I personally like Azumarill just because I think it's pretty cool that even though this Pokemon has really bad stats, it's still really good because it has huge power, right? But
yeah,
they didn't even have uh abilities beforehand, so I don't even know what was the point of making these stats so bad as it is. Like the HP is really good, and then it has pretty nice defenses. Like they're not horrible, but I don't know what it's supposed to do. You know,
yeah. I'm not sure, to be honest.
like outside of, like in in Gen 2 is absolutely useless. Now in Gen ever since Gen 3 when they added the abilities, it actually became really good just because it had these abilities. Uh, Anyways, let's go to Sudowoodo. I like Sudowoodo. I think Sudowoodo was well made.
Uh,
It's a fun way of like making another like Snorlax clone, you know? Because like Sudowoodo's whole point was like to block off the road instead of giving you an HM kind of like Snorlax, right?
yeah,
And something I find actually really interesting is that Sudowoodo uh is a rock type instead of grass type. And looking at like the type matchups, rock actually beats all of grass's weakness. Like sorry. It's strong against bug, fire, flying, ice, and it's not very affected to poison. So rock beats all of those
yeah,
typings, and it's also uh weak to all of like grass's resistance except for electric. It's weak to grass, ground, and water. So I find that's really really cool.
yeah. It was very clever what they did.
Like that's a really good implic uh a really cool design that they made to it. Now I'll be back real quickly. I need good water because my throat's killing me real quickly.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Man, I could say anything right now. Wiener. So I was walking down the street the other day, and I saw this child on a bike,
I'm back. I'm
and
sorry.
Oh god,
I
scared
don't
me.
know. He was probably talking real bad smack about me right now. Ooh.
What?
Hmm. I'm gonna have to edit it. I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, I think Sudowoodo was really well made.
Yeah, no, it was really well designed. Very clever.
Uh, Politoed. And real quickly to Sudowoodo, I don't even think that was like a coincidence of making it a rock type, you know? I think it was actually like made for that reason alone, because Game Freak actually tried then, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They weren't just like doing stupid stuff and not actually trying for the games.
Yeah.
Um Politoed. Politoed. I like Politoed. It's a good idea of making like Poliwag, who's a tadpole, told tadpole to evolve into a frog. That just makes sense.
It does make sense.
Cause like as much as I think Poliwrath and Poliwhirl is cool, they really didn't change too much to have evolve.
Yeah, it I used to think Poliwhirl and Poliwrath were the same thing for a long time when I was little.
Honestly, same, like full on same. Like when I was watching the anime, I didn't even know the difference between them. I just thought, oh, that Poliwhirl's angry.
Yeah.
Because Misty has a Poliwhirl, and you won't even think about it, because, like, oh, Poliwhirl's, like, the main one, right? Because she didn't evolve it. Uh, you don't even really know it, because they're pretty much the same Pokemon, just with, being angrier and, like, a little bit more bulky, and that's it.
Yeah.
Anyways, next to Hoppip. I like the Hoppip line. Like, I think they're just fun. Even though I don't think they're really that good, I think they're just fun designs.
I think they're just interesting. Um, I like Jumpluff especially.
Yeah, I love Jumpluff. Like, it's so much fun to use. Like, it's not good, but it's fun. I like it. They're good designs. I
Yeah.
like them a lot. Even if they're
I
absolute
like how
garbage.
way.
Was that?
Like I like how each one is like flies, but has like a different method of flying.
That's really cool too, because like you have Hoppip who just like kind of like hops, uh, s- uh, what's its name? Skip Loom, like it just propellers and like Jumpluff just flies away with the wind because it's dandelion.
Yeah.
And then Apom is one of those Pokemon. It's like it really doesn't do anything until it evolves, and it's like why did they not just make this Pokemon evolve to begin with? Did Apom get a beta evolution? Apom beta evolution? Like I know that some Pokemon had like beta forms. Oh, this was beta Apom.
Interesting. I kind of prefer that one.
I do too, honestly. I think it's a cooler idea that they made it a lemur rather than a monkey, because like we just have so many monkeys already with like Infernape. We have the what's their name? The monkey monkeys, like the like different elemental monkeys. You have Darmanitan, all being really cool, and then they're just kind of forgettable. And I think like this
Hmm.
is a much cooler design, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, it's much more interesting.
And like honestly, Johto was kind of weird because like uh this was an evolution of like Ditto. It was Steel type, and that's it.
It's beautiful.
I don't know
I
why they
need
need to
it
give Ditto an evolution.
because look at its beautiful face.
I mean, yeah, it's cool, but like, eh. Also, here's the beta forms of the Skiploom Lion.
Oh my goodness.
I like them except for Skiploom. I think Skiploom just kind of looks ugly compared to the final form. You know,
Yeah.
it just doesn't
I don't
doesn't look
know.
as polished.
They look like a variation of the same Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean it's not the worst thing out there because they're just evolutions, but yeah. Um, Sunkern and Sunflora, I never really cared for them. I just never really
Yeah.
cared. Like, I think Skiploom's cool that it's like a sunflower seed which has a bloom to it, but I don't care.
Yeah. It's not great.
Yanma's a really cool Pokemon in my opinion. I'm really glad that they
It's
did
like
get an evolution because like Yanmega's is so cool. Like I love Yanmega. Yanmega is so
it's
underrated.
it's really dope.
But
On Meg, one of my first shinies.
ooh, really? But that's a really good
Yeah.
shiny because Yanmega is a really cool shiny. It's so blue and everything.
Yeah, it looks sick.
But Yanma itself, eh, I like it. I still like it. I think it's cool. I just don't know why like they made so many like really weak first form Pokemon, you know?
Yeah. Really didn't have much of a point to it, but
Yeah, I feel like a lot of I feel like a lot of like Johto Pokemon were filler. Like there's a lot of filler of them. Like not many of them evolved. They didn't really have much going for them. They were just made to be made.
yeah.
And I think Johto really suffers from that because I think like on average, if you take all of the Pokemon's base stat total, Johto has the lowest base stat total of any Pokemon region, which makes sense.
Really.
Yeah, because they're all filler Pokemon that don't evolve.
Right.
Until like Gen 4 where they gave them all a bunch of evolutions, but yeah.
Gen 4 did a lot of
Good. I
tying up
think
loose
Gen 4
ends.
did Gen 4 did really good. But moving
They
on from
did.
Yanmo, we go to the boy. Wooper and Quagsire. The boys.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Like I don't even think we have to talk about. Just let's just skip over them and just say 10 out of 10 because we all know how good
Yeah,
they
I was
are.
gonna say.
But I do want to go into like Beta Wooper.
Okay.
He's so goofy. Look at this goofy guy.
He looks like the dog from Undertale almost.
He just looks like a dog, like full on.
He does. He does look like a little dog.
I
Looks like a
like
mud
it.
puppy.
I like it, but it's like I just feel like it just doesn't have too much of a like design. Like it's just like a blob.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they really changed Wooper's evolution because I think Wooper really just like Wooper has such a like really iconic like actual good looking design. Like it's very like you once you see it, you know what it is. This thing is just like a blob. Like I'm glad that they changed it. Like I think it's cute and everything, but like it's so much better.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Was there a beta like Quagsire? So I want to see that actually.
I think
Sire.
there is.
No, there's not much to it other than like it didn't have like little like spines to it. Which I think it looks unfinished without the spines, you know?
Yeah. The
Like
little
so,
fin things.
I think like such little like details to designs can change a design so much. And
Yeah.
this is one of those like things. Dude, that's a really cool design actually.
Oh crap!
Gillbender.
That hurt almost.
I don't know. That's really cool. But yeah. Uh, Espeon and Umbreon. I don't care for evolutions. Like I'm just gonna be upfront. I don't care about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't care at all. They're boring to me.
Yeah. I neat how they evolve, but Espeon just isn't great. Umbreon's got a great shiny. That's about it.
I think Umbreon's one of those Pokemon where you don't even have to change too much for the shiny to make it look good.
Yeah.
You just have to change the right elements. Which I think we talked about like last time. Like Gengar had a good shine like beforehand, but the 3D games really ruined it. Because Gengar used to have been like a grape jam like purple, and the shiny was almost like blackish. Now it's like
Yeah.
very similar to
Right.
each other. Murkrow. I love Murkrow. I think Murkrow has a really cool design. Like, look at how cool this guy is. Which I don't think you can see it on this one. But yeah, Murkrow is just a cool design. Like, I really like Murkrow.
Yeah. I've always liked it also. It's
Like,
got like a whole look to it.
I think Beta Murkrow was supposed to be like more magician base. Bro, Beta. Bro, I just want to see Beta Murkrow. Beta Murkrow. There we go. Like, you can see it's
Yeah, look
more.
at
It looks more like a witch.
yeah.
But honestly, I like
I
how
like the
what the, I like what they did with the Murkrow we have now. I think Murkrow being a gangster is much more cooler than that. Though you can still see some of the witch elements, like the hat's still kind of there, and like the broom tail is still there too. Well, like I never really realized that the tail was supposed to be like a broom until I saw the like beta design. Because you see
that's fair
like all the
enough.
like fuzz or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah. It's
and
pretty cool.
it's just cool. I like it. The coloration looks really good. Um, Slowbro, I don't think, or Slowking, I feel like wasn't really like needed for an evolution, but like he's just chilling, like he's just there, and I like it. And I'm glad that they
Yeah.
kept Galarian Slowbro because Galarian Slowbro is awesome.
Yeah. I really like the idea of Flow King. That he comes up with the greatest ideas ever, but then immediately forgets them. Like he could solve anything, like the
Wait,
world, all of the world problems, but just forgets them.
wait, is that just an anime thing, or is like no? That's actually an okay. A that's a game
Isn't
thing
it
too.
Dex
Okay,
End? Yeah,
I also think
I
it's
think
really
it's just.
cool. I think it's
I
really
also
cool.
like
Oh, sorry.
when the sorry, yeah, I also like the idea that when another or when the shelter bites a different area, it turns into something different.
Yeah, I like it, but I don't like the idea of the freaking like Galarian Slowbro. I think Galarian Slowbro is stupid.
Valerian Slowbro, where it's on
Yeah,
his arm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's lame.
I just like Galarian Slowking looks really cool though. Like genuinely, like look at it.
Yeah, where the
Shellder's
what
more
do you call it?
poisonous, which makes so much sense because if you read it like the text and everything, like the shoulder actually has poison on it. Like it says like here, it's like intoxicates the head to give it like the mind powers and everything, right?
Yeah,
I just wish that they actually kept Shellder evolving 'cause, like I think we talked about it last time, but Shellder was supposed to get like a new evolution.
yeah, he was supposed to get that evolution. Also, the fact that it basically intoxicates Slowking.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's like him getting stoned and then being like, "Oh my gosh, I have this
Oh my
fantastic
god.
idea."
Genuinely though, that actually actually works so well.
It does. It really does.
Wait, that's I never thought about it that way, but that's awesome actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish this guy kept they kept it in. And we're going to go into
Yeah.
later, and I'm going to talk about design that I really, really wish that they kept. I really wish that they kept the design, but they didn't keep it. And I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Uh,
I think so.
Mischievous. I like Miss Magius, but I don't really care enough for Mischievous.
Yeah.
It's
It's not
just,
great.
it's just there. It's just there. Like I think Miss Magius is so cool, but like, eh. It just doesn't evolve, and it's not full, and it's not good. Like as much as we want to say like designs matter a lot, and uh like how good they are in battle doesn't matter. I think it does matter if they're not fun to use.
Yeah.
I think a Pokemon has to be fun to use to for you to like it more. That's just a must thing to happen. Unknown, I think it's a really cool idea of what they do, but they just don't do anything in the games at all.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
I think
It's
it's
like
a huge missed potential because I know like in like Pokemon Brick Bronze the like Roblox one like they actually
yeah,
had to like you had to like have a certain amount of them to unlock like a legendary like Beyonce or whatever, and that was really cool
that
because
was
they like had
it
a
was
text
that
store or
entire
whatever,
game was it
and
had
I think
so
they
many
should have done
more.
more with Unknown, but like they just lost the potential of making them cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since Unknown is absolute garbage and is unusable in battle. Like, it's genuinely unusable because all you have is hidden power, and
It
hidden power
literally
sucks.
doesn't do
You're pretty much only having a 60 base power move of one type, and that's pretty much it. So say you have a like psychic type, a psychic hidden power, you're not doing anything to anything that resists or is immune to it, like dark. And you don't get any other typings. If Unknown had a certain like ability, like it could use, it could have, it could reuse like. Oh, never mind. That's stupid. I was going to say if it had like it could use hidden power in different slots, but like hidden power depends on the IV, so like you're going to only have one typing, whatever.
right.
Okay, Wobbuffet. This is another like gimmick Pokemon that we were talking about,
Mhm.
where
Which
like
I'm actually
where every
a
region
pretty
has
big
a
fan.
gimmick Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Wobbuffet.
I think Wobbuffet's
He's
fun. I think Wobbuffet's. Was there a beta of Wobbuffet?
that's a good question.
I just want to see it personally. Oh yeah. Okay, I wouldn't even call this a like beta because it's just kind of like a placeholder, you know.
Just a blob.
Well, that makes sense though, because like that's how everyone like draws stuff. Like it's just like they just make beta things of what they want, and like that's kind of how everything works, you know.
Yeah, no, it's a I like it.
It's just a beta design, and it's pretty vibing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that they were making a beta Grimer, baby Grimer.
Oh my goodness. It's a little
Wait.
slug.
Slugmavalls.
I like that the shadow tag thing on Wobbuffet is the
Oh,
real
Shadow Tag was
Pokemon and
so
Wob
cool. I think giving the Shadow Tag was a really good design. I was actually going to talk about that. I think giving it
yeah,
Shadow Tag where Pokemon can't leave was really, really good and a really good idea on Game Freak's part. And
yeah.
it makes it horrible to fight in Nuzlocke.
Oh my god. Awful.
I lost like two Pokemon to a Wobbuffet in Emerald because I
Tragic.
didn't know. I didn't know that someone was using Wobbuffet, so I had like Crobat, and like Crobat had no, it only had attacking moves.
No, your Crobat. That's rough.
And that sucked because Crobat was like my best Pokemon in Nuzlocke too. But yeah, I think Wobbuffet's a good gimmick Pokemon. I don't know if I would put it above Ditto. I think Ditto's just more fun to use in general.
Yeah.
Oh,
Plus, he's got like actual.
you know what's funny though? Um, Wobbuffet's in Gen 3 was banned. Like it was banned. And
Is it really?
I was watching this YouTuber named Or Guardian, you know him, right?
Uh, I think I've heard of him. Never
He made a
watched him.
really bad, like, this is genuinely, but I think he made a really bad video on banned Pokemon because he got a lot of things wrong. Where he said Wobbuffet was banned because it was simply too good because it would damage people back. And like, no, it wasn't banned because of it being too powerful. It was actually pretty. It was pretty alright actually. But it wasn't banned for that reason. It was banned because Shadow Tag, if you had two Wobbuffets with leftovers, you would pretty much have an infinite loop. Like they couldn't kill each other, and like once they ran out of PP, um Wobbuffets would struggle, but if they had leftovers, it would just be an infinite loop because they wouldn't lose enough HP to where they would be in an infinite loop.
Dude, that breaks
So
my
that's really
brain.
cool. I don't really watch too many uh YouTubers because I think they just get a lot of things wrong, which sucks.
Hmm.
But yeah, Giraffe Rig. Um, I liked it. I liked it more when I was a kid. I feel like
Same.
it's just kind of like it's just there now, you know?
Yeah, I liked having him on my team for a little bit, but
He was fun to use in the game. I also think that people are saying like Giraffe is one of the best Pokemon to have in a uh hard gold and soul silver Nuzlocke because it just has a really good moveset. It's easy to get it and everything, and it's like very useful that way. And I think that's cool. I'm glad they gave it an evolution.
I
Uh
didn't really like the evolution though, unfortunately.
yeah, the evolution was I don't really like Giraffe evolution too much. Like it's cool that they made like oh its tail like took over Rover, but why is it not a dark type then? I think
Yeah,
originally like Dropkick was supposed to be a psychic and dark type, which would make it really cool.
yeah, that's because yeah, it's opposing types.
But like why didn't it just turn dark type? It would just made it look a lot more like of a personality. But yeah. Going
Yeah, I don't
into
know.
next one is Fortress and Pinecone. I really like them actually. Pinecone and Fortress are very underrated Pokemon, in my opinion. I
Yeah,
just
I like
I
Fort a
I
lot.
really like them. Fortress will never be like a useless Pokemon. I think Fortress will always be pretty useful because you can set up a whole bunch of like different like stage hazards and like the typing's really good. Like Bug and Steel is one of the best like typings in the game. I also think it's a really cool design. I like it.
Same.
Okay, going on to Dunsparce. I think the colorations of Dunsparce is awesome. I like um I like the origin of what it is. There's something I do have problems with. Why is it a normal type? Like full on, why is it a normal type? I never understood that. Because if you look at the like Dex entries, like it's always talking about how it burrows down with its drill. Why is it not a ground type?
Yeah,
I always thought
I don't know.
it should have been a ground type, and I also always thought it was a bug type. I always thought it was a bug type, even though looking into it now, it makes so much sense why it's not a bug type because it's based off of a snake. But why
Right.
is it not a ground type? That's my one complaint about Dunsparce. Why is it not a ground type? It even says land snake.
I
Actually,
don't
let me look.
know.
Beatus
They should have
Duns.
given it a better evolution, in my opinion. Also,
Yeah. This was a
I get.
beta. This was beta Dunsparce, by the way.
Whoa! It
I
looks so
kind
much.
I kind of like
I don't
it.
know. Yeah. Sometimes it amazes me how the beta is just something completely different from the official.
Yeah, like
Like,
it's completely different.
but yeah,
I don't think it's bad though. I think it's pretty solid.
I think it is pretty good too.
I think the Dunsparce is more like recognizable as a design. I think it just looks like a random snake Pokemon. Dunsparce is a lot more like polished, in my opinion. Like this is a design where it's like it needs more polishing, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I just wish that Dunsparce was a ground type, in my opinion. I just never understood it. Why it was a normal type. It has a drill. It says it always burrows down with its drill. It should have been a ground type. Oh, you know what another thing is? I think another reason why Dunsparce gets confused with it being a bug type all the time is like there was an anime episode where they called it a bug type, like genuinely. Let me see if I
I
can.
feel like hey, they messed that up a few times.
Yeah, let me see if I can
Like
find
different.
on. Let me see if I
They
can find
call a
on.
growl.
What was that?
They call Growlithe an Arcanine in one of the episodes. Officer Jenny goes, "Go get him, Growlithe," or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
Arcanine.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Hi. Huh?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Here it is. This is one video. Let me see. Okay, yeah.
Also, the
What?
wings, very bug-looking wings.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a bug type. Like I would not blame anyone to thinking it look good. Like watch this real quickly. Can you see it in here?
Hi. Huh?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
What you doing?
Looking for some kind of bug Pokemon?
Yep. I'm looking all over trying to find a Dunsparce.
Not even close, baby.
It's like they fall and call a bug type in the anime.
They do.
So it's like,
Goofy.
how can you be blamed for it? But here's an actual goated Pokemon, Gligar.
Gligar was a fantastic Pokemon, even as first stage.
It looks awesome. Okay, it doesn't look awesome. It looks so cute. I love Gligar. Gligar's awesome. I had so much fun drawing like the Gligar in my color wheel of Pokemon. I think Gligar is
Yeah,
so iconic. I love Gligar. Like
he's
I
pretty
think
dope.
I think Gligar's in the same tier of a design as Gliscor. Like everyone talks about Gliscor, but I don't think anyone ever talks about Gligar itself without talking about Gliscor. And I think it's a crime because I think Gliscor Gar is genuinely so cool. I love Gligar. I always like this guy. It's also a really good typing, like genuinely. So fun. But
Yeah,
yeah.
he's very cool.
I put
Felix.
Gligar in a really high tier Pokemon. Like this is what I talk about. Some of the Pokemon are pretty mid. Like none of them are too special, but you have some really high highs. Crobat, you have uh the Quagsire, you have Gligar, Heracross, Caesar. It's just so good for the good ones, but the bad ones are so bad, like Unknown, Misman or Mischievous, Togetic the babies. So yeah. Steelix. Steel licking on balls is what I'm saying.
Excuse
Uh,
me.
what was that?
No, then. Yeah, continue. Steelix.
Did Steelix have a beta? I feel like they did. I just want to see. Okay, no, they didn't have any like specific beta Pokemon. Never mind. But Steelix looks so cool and so intimidating. It's so sad that Steelix is genuinely really bad. Like it's genuinely bad, and I think it's really suffering from being an evolution of Onyx. Because Onyx, Onyx, why are your stats so bad? Like look at these stats.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Also, look at his shape.
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Bro,
Hey,
you
they
down
fixed it
bad.
with. At least you're not thinking about that when you're looking at Steelix, because. Anyway,
Steelix Mega
um,
is really cool. He's actually pretty good now.
he also looks very sick. I like how he becomes like magnetized
I
and
like
has
the
crystals.
crystals. I think the crystals are a good nod to like Crystal Onyx. I
Oh
still
yeah,
don't
crystal onyx.
understand why they never made a Crystal Onyx as in like previous like a regional form or whatever. Like I think that's so easy to do, and
Yeah,
everyone like be hype about it. Like
they did
you
crystal on.
like they could actually have a really easy typing being a fairy and rock with Diancie, right? Because they're
True.
crystal.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah, that's a good point.
I just don't understand why I never did it. But I think
I don't.
Steelix is genuinely looking really cool. It looks really cool. I think it just suffers from being really bad.
Maybe because if they did crystal onyx, they would have to do like crystal steelix,
I think if
and
they
then
did, I feel
like,
like they would just make it a different evolution now. Cause like we've
yeah, but
seen
wouldn't you give it a mega then too?
no, because megas don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I
We
know,
had
but like
we have
that's the
Frostlass,
issue.
for example. Frostlass is an evolution of uh what's his
Yeah, I
name?
guess
Snover, and it doesn't get an evolution. Or it doesn't get a mega. Glalie does.
right. That's true. That's a good point.
I feel like there's more like that. Let me quickly look at Mega Pokemon. Oh, like there's also like stuff like Beedrill. Beedrill gets a Mega, but not what's his name? Whatever it's called. Butterfree. Butterfree doesn't get one. That's actually so weird that it doesn't get because a lot of the counterparts do get or yeah, Slowbro too. Slowbro doesn't get one and Slowking doesn't. Yo, what the heck? He left. No, I think he's basically right now. He said something about leaving. Yo, what's up?
Oh, you're back.
Oh, I left? Oh,
I don't
shoot.
know. It cut out for a second.
Okay. Okay, we're still good. But
All
yeah,
right, so
I was saying that there's also Slowbro too, if you never heard that.
slow bro. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Plus, Megas don't exist
That's
anymore, so they don't have to worry.
yeah.
Um, moving on from Steelix, Snubbull, and Granbull. Honestly, some of the most forgettable Pokemon ever. Like, full on forgettable. Like, there's nothing special about them. Like, I never remember them. They're just, like, there.
Yeah.
Like,
Not fantastic.
there's nothing special about the design at all. Wait, why is it a fairy again?
Because they needed fairies.
No, but why is it fairy, though? I think there's might be some kind of, like, I think there might be like some kind of like myth with Bulldog. Fairy myth.
Yeah.
The fairy dog. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I know. So there's a myth between them. That makes sense now. Uh, they're just mid. They're just mid. There's nothing special about them. They're just lame.
There's just
Anyways,
like
uh, quillfish. I like quillfish. It's just I like it. That's like it.
I just wish it had more like morph.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, I guess it has a evolution now with its regional form, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
just not.
I think Quillfish was supposed to get a new evolution beforehand. Yeah, this was like the evolution. It just looked like the Mario enemy, like full on. And then this was like the actual like final like design of the evolution. What's your thoughts
Yeah.
on it?
Your screen sharing, by the way, is it's frozen.
Oh,
Just so
it's
you know.
frozen. Okay, wait, let me start over again. No, leave me alone. Shoot, window. There we go. Did that work now?
Uh, uh, maybe now it is.
Okay, good.
Oh, that does kind of look like Mario enemy. It looks
But
goofy.
like this guy, full on Mario
Yeah.
enemy. I don't doubt that they just reworked it into the Mario enemy, honestly. Wait, when was that would be in Super Mario World? When was Super Mario World? Release date? Okay, never mind. It was made before it was even made, never mind. It's full on it's just a Mario enemy. Like the pink puffer fish, you know? Purple
Yeah,
pufferfish?
yeah, it's the purple
Mario
one.
pufferfish. I just want to like show off because like see like what's the
Yeah, there he is. Dun, 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 dun,
oh
dun,
yeah
dun, dun. You encountered Cheap Cheap.
like full on it just looked like it.
Yeah, that's
Which
goofy.
is
I
probably why I
like
did.
it.
Honestly, that was probably why they never even like added in. Scizor. We all know that Scizor is my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's just so cool. Like it's genuinely really cool looking. I love the design. Like it's just a Melamantis. And something I find interesting is like Scizor is the only evolution where it doesn't gain any stat boosts upon evolution. It only reworks. They just replace everything in different areas, which is super
Which is
cool.
really, yeah.
But really stupid too, because like, why don't you give it at least like 50? Like the only thing it gained was like the steel typing, which is a really good buff. Like it's a absolutely amazing buff.
Yeah, honestly, I like the idea that it doesn't change the stats though, because if they like added more uh like evolutions to it, or to like Scizor or Scyther, sorry. And it could just seem like different types of the same Pokemon.
Yeah,
Kind of like a different kind of type of evolution. I don't know.
it's a cool idea, but like it's also like as my favorite Pokemon, I just want to be stronger than it is, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, I kind of like that they added. Here's the thing: I don't like Cleavor as a Scyther evolution. But I like that they used it to tease the paradox forms because Scizor is supposed to be like the future form and Cleaver is supposed to be the past form. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
I just wish
that's
that they worked it. a bit better of the design to like be in the same par as them, you know?
Yeah.
Shuckle and Heracross, like these are peak designs too. Like full on. No one hates these Pokemon. No one. Like,
Beautiful.
have you ever heard anyone saying anything bad about either Heracross or Shuckle?
No.
No, because they're just really, really good designs. Like, Heracross is just awesome, and Shuckle's just Shuckle's Shuckle, you know? Oh wait,
Shuckle, man.
I want to show you Beta Shuckle though. Beta Shuckle
I
is
think I've
cool
seen it.
actually. Like he was just like in a pot and everything. It's really cool,
Yeah,
right?
he was, you know,
Like it's just like a kind of like a snake, right? But I like the idea that they make. I like the one that we have now, but it's a really cool design. I like it
yeah.
because the whole idea was like it would like even now it's like the whole thing about Shuckles like it um pretty much turns the berries into juice and everything, and it's really cool for that reason. And if we ever get like some kind of like Shuckle evolution, it would be absolutely broken, like just because of how good Shuckle's like defensive stats are. The only thing that's holding it back from being really, really good is that its HP is pretty low, which by the way, Shuckle actually has a pretty high base stat total for what it is, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a it's a pretty good poke.
I like Shuckle. Like full on. I actually think the Shuckle actually has the highest defensive stats of any Pokemon ever.
Is it really? There's no
I
way.
think so. Highest, maybe like Defense Deoxys, maybe.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, it's events Deoxys. That's its job.
Okay, let's look at it real quickly. Highest, not counting like Internamax, Eternatus, because the whole point was it to be like a raid boss, so like all the stats were like jacked up anyways.
Right.
Like let me see, Oh, actually, I'll go check here real quickly. Eternatus. It's like this was just supposed to be like a raid boss. So we don't count this. Uh, Steelix
Mm,
has 230. Shuckle ties with it, and Mega Aggron. Okay, so it's a three-way tie between them. But Shuckle also has the same amount of special defense. Uh, I want to see highest special defense. Yes, Shuckle too. It's like it has the highest defensive stats in the game, pretty much. So that's
I didn't
really cool.
realize that it had, high defense.
The reason why you
It's
don't
crazy.
realize it is because its HP is so low, 20. So it doesn't really matter too much.
Okay.
So like if it were ever to get some kind of evolution, and if it were to get any kind of like HP stat boost, it would absolutely be crazy. Also, have you heard
What do
like
you need?
Shuckle can deal the most damage of any Pokemon ever?
I also did know that.
Cool. Deal the most damage of. I don't know if it still holds up though, because I think that was a long time ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did hear, like, first time I heard that one was when I was, like, a kid, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Access the most possible Delta Swampert on a Noibat. That's pretty. Okay, yeah. So it's like it it used to be like that then, but now it's like it's whatever. Sneasel, base Sneasel, I don't really care actually, you know? Like Weavile's cool, but like just Sneasel itself is just kind of like mid, you know?
Yeah, it's
Like the design's
yeah.
fine. The
Weevil
coloration's
is.
cool, but like I don't really care about it.
I do not like what's its name? Hisuian Weasel or
Oh no.
Sneasel.
I think Hisui and Sneasel looks fine. I think it's Sneasler that's stupid.
Weasel, that's its name. Yeah,
I
that
Here's the thing.
thing's
I like the
ridiculous.
colorations of the Hisui and Sneasel. I don't think it makes any sense why it has a regional form in Hisui. It makes no sense because it lives in the same environment, right? The whole point of a regional form is that different environments change it, so it doesn't make sense that Sneasel has a form. It should have been still been an ice type. Why is it a poison type? It makes no sense at all. I never liked that thing.
Weird.
Like if Sneasel and Sneasler were in a different region, I think I wouldn't even care about it as much. But I don't like them for the reason it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't like that they were made. Like obviously Sneasler was just made for climbing Pokemon, but they should have made it in different Pokemon riding Pokemon. Like I didn't make any sense why they did it because Weavile was a Gen 4 Pokemon, you know?
Yeah,
Also, I never realized it, but look at his art. Like, look at the left eye of this. It looks so weird. Like, the left eye looks so out of place in this one thing.
it does.
I never noticed that before. Now I did. Um, Moving on. Ursaring and Teddy Ursa. I like Ursaring. I think Ursaring just is really cool. I just think it's really cool.
Same. I wish they would give or make a fire type equivalent of him though, or a
A fire
Goldilocks.
bear?
Yeah,
Dude, you know what? They It's funny that you say that, but Beta Ursaring was supposed to be fire.
is he really?
Well, here's the thing. Teddy Ursa and or not Ursaring itself, but um the beta of the fire starter was supposed to be a fire bear. And they fire starter Gen 2, like it was supposed to be a bear, right? And they
Oh
reworked it
yeah,
into it. So beta Teddy Ursa, you can see it, right?
yeah, I can.
So they reworked it into a Teddy Ursa. So it's supposed to be a fire type. Oh, speaking of
I didn't.
which, I think Beta Cyndaquil was supposed to be like an ice type. Where was it? Here it is. Maybe not an ice type, but it was supposed to be a different typing completely.
Yeah, it looks like ice.
I don't know what type it would be though. Maybe an ice, maybe steel, maybe something else. I don't think it was supposed to be fire.
It's steel. Actually, steel would make a lot of sense.
Steel makes
Uh,
sense. Oh, here's
kind
all
of
the
just
beta forms, by the way. What was that?
kind of looks like Sandslash.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, they're the same. They're based off. Actually, never mind. Cyndaquil's based off of a what's this called? Echidna, and
Yeah,
Sandslash is based off of Pangolin. But yeah, I mean, I
which
can
they're
kind of see it. Oh, where is it? I can kind of see it, but at the same time, not too much. Let me just get rid of some of these so I don't have to click on everything. But yeah. Anyways, we were
Right.
Ursaring. I think Ursaring's really cool. I like how Ursaring looks. It's just really cool.
Yeah. Solid.
And I like that it just turns from a cuddly teddy bear to like a giant, like real bear. Like it's full on just a bear, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, can you say this next Pokemon's name for me?
What does that say? I can't read that. Which one is that?
Try
Huh?
harder. Try harder. It's
I'm
Slugma Got him. I
damn,
I
I was just about to hit but it's Pikachu!
I love that clip, but yeah. Anyways, Macargo and this guy. I'm going to be honest with you. I just like Slugma Balls just for that one. I just like it for the name. I like it for the
Yeah.
name. Like the design is pretty good too. Like it's generally really good. I think Slugma Balls actually has a good name.
Please
Like
stop
genuinely.
referring to it by its full name and
What was that?
please only refer to it by its Nintendo given name.
Then you say it. I'm not going to say it.
Alright, fine. Continue.
I think it's a really good design and shiny Slugma Balls. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Let's be
It was like
real.
20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's how advanced Pokemon was. But yeah,
That's why
it's
that's
a
why they were so
I mean, look at the little like cheek flops. They're literal balls. Look.
jowls. Oh yeah, they kind of do look like testicles.
Like full on, it looks like it. But but realistically though, I think their designs are really well made. Like I full on think they're really well made, despite being some of the worst Pokemon like ever made to be like if you were to use them in battle. I still think it's really cool looking.
Yeah, fair enough. I always did like Magcargo. He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just sad that Rock and Fire is just so bad. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I love Swinub. Swinub's so cute. I love Swinub.
he's a cute little guy.
I also love the combination of Ice and Ground. Ice and Ground is probably one of the strongest offensive typings in the game. Like the pairing, really really nice. I love Swinub and Mamoswine, even though we're not really counting it for Gen 2. I love Mamoswine.
Yeah,
Mamoswine's
he's
really
super
cool.
dope. It's like Piloswine.
Yeah, I Piloswine your mom. Honestly though, I don't really care too much about Piloswine, honestly. Are you good?
Yeah, I think the whole entire line is pretty good looking.
I don't really care for Piloswine, honestly. It's just like one of those like weird middle stages to me that I'm like I just want to get to the final stage and I don't really care about too much.
Fair enough.
Like there are some Pokemon where I think the second stage looks cool and like they're really well made, but there's some of those what did I click? There's some of those stages where it's just like I really don't care about it at all. Like I just want to get to the final stage and that's it. Uh, Corsola. Eh. Who cares about Corsola? Like genuinely, who cares?
Lists.
I really
You get
like
it.
I really like Galarian Corsola and how it dies, and like the whole reason why it's made is because Toxapex overhunts it and kills it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I don't like regular Corsola. It's just lame. it's just so mid.
Yeah,
Like
it really should be evolution to begin with.
yeah, like regular Corsola just it's really bad, so you're not even going to be using it in a battle. Uh it's just not good. I just don't care for it. Gunfish in Tank. Have you ever seen like Beta Remoraid? I think I showed you it before, right?
Yeah, he looks like a little pistol.
Like he was full on supposed to be a gun, which makes so much sense why it evolves into
Turns in.
artillery because it turns into
Yeah,
a full on tank. I think the design is much worse because of that reason. Like I genuinely think
yeah,
beta looks
yeah.
better because it
Oh,
makes more sense.
yeah.
Because ever like realistically, whoever thought like it made sense before the whole thing? Like I guess like realistically there were some hints. Like you can see like the gun marks like of the barrel here in Remoraid.
From the yeah, from the little revolving bit.
Yeah. But who generally thinks about that though? So like if you look at it like you can see it as a gun shape and it makes more sense now that now when you actually see like the beta version and like you know it's supposed to be a gun, but beforehand it just doesn't make any sense. Like
Yeah,
you can still see it, right? You can still see it kind of,
yeah.
but Octiller you just don't see anything really. Other than like the
Yeah,
obvious like tank mouth, right?
I should have made his tentacles treads. That
Like
would
that
be
would make
cool.
at least like more sense.
Yeah, pink treads.
Like that what they were trying to do with Hydreigon, right? Because like it was supposed to be like a tank, but like I
It
guess
was also
Game Freak
yeah.
doesn't want to go all the way there. Even though they made Dragapult, which is like a bomber like
It's a
jet.
beat stealth bomber. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I guess now they're like a little like okay with doing a little bit more like stuff like that. But like, bruh, it's literally a bomber jet, which is crazy.
Just it's super dope. It's really cool. They
Yeah,
should have made the other one also very very cool like that.
and I would realistically think that they would make it into a steel type, right? Because steel types was added,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's true.
it would actually make Octillery much better being a steel type as well. But no, they just didn't do it. And I think that really hurts Octillery. As much as I like Remoraid and Octillery, I think it ruins it. Uh, moving on to Delibird. Like, okay, real quickly, I do want to say I do really like Octillery, but I think it not being a tank it really hurts it. But anyways,
Yeah,
Delibird. Another of those gimmick Pokemons where I think Delibird gimmick is just so stupid.
yeah, they should have done much more with it in my opinion.
Like I like the idea where it's like it only learns the move present, where it can either do damage or it can heal your opponent, and the damage varies. It's just like it doesn't really do anything because like the stats are so bad. Most likely, you're just going to be healing it some more of the time because it doesn't do anything from the damage. I think the gimmick idea is fun. I don't think it's fun to use, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, what's the like percentage of healing with present? What are the percentage of healing with present Pokemon? Was so it has a 20% chance to heal with full health. It's not
Hmm.
even like slight health, like half health. It's like full health, so it's like not even like a good gimmick.
Yeah, not great.
Oh my god, you know what's crazy though?
What?
Mantine is supposed to be like a uh like a hell carrier with a gun on it. Like full
Yeah,
on. Like that's funny. Even though like I think Beta Mantine, it was just more like a kite. Like this was Beta Mantine. Which looks good. It
wow,
looks good.
that looks good. Yeah,
I like regular I like Mantine is now a lot more though. Because I genuinely really like Mantine.
same.
Mantine
I also like.
is so underrated. So underrated. But you can go now. You can go now. Sorry.
I was just saying. I also like his Prevo, even though we're not rating those.
Mantike, yeah, yeah. Even though
Pretty cute.
I think Mantike is one of those Pokemon where it's like, why even make it? I think Mantike was made kind of like a Manaphy Fione thing because it looks very similar to it, and I think that's some of the reason why.
Yeah, that
But I also think
might.
Mantike also I think kind of is a good thing because it shows off like part of the relationships with Remoraid because I think Remoraid as it is like it's supposed to be like one of those like you know like those toothbrush fish where like they clean the sharks and Manta's like teeth from parasites and everything.
Isn't it? Isn't that also called rem? What is that called? It's like a
Um,
Remoraid. It's very similar to
I
Remoraid. I'm
think I
pretty
think
sure.
so.
It
Toothbrush
might just.
fish or sharks. What's their what are they called? Is there a fish that cleans? The cleaner wrestle. I think it's called. Remember? I can't pronounce it, but yeah. I think
Maybe.
they I think what the, Game Freak was trying to do was like they try to change. No, I don't think they were trying to change it, but like they made a real relationship like in a real world thing, but also trying to make it like Mantine is a fire jet and it's like the gun, and I think that's really interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
I think like previous like something I don't like is like Pokemon been like stay clearing away from like Mantine with Remoraid designs, which kind of sucks because like that is kind of part of it design, like being with Remoraid. Cause like you see like in Gen 2 and 3 sprites, they were with Remoraids, right? But like they changed it in Gen 4 and onward, which I don't really like. I think they should have kept the sprites with it, you know?
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's fair.
But that's just my little complaints. Um Skarmory. Skarmory's see, like some of these Pokemon are like really high tier Pokemon. Like Skarmory, Mantine, like some of these are really good, but then there's Thinkers. Like I like Skarmory. Skarmory is really, really cool looking. I think like one of the lore elements with Skarmory is that uh Samurai would use like the fallen feathers of Skarmory as a swords. Like I think that's actually like one of the lore, right?
Yeah. That's a super dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In Crystal, the feathers that would shed are very sharp. It said that people once used the feathers as swords. Like that's a really cool element. Like that's really cool, and I think that gives Skarmory some more like cool elements to it. I really like that. Yeah. You still here?
Yeah. I'm still here.
Okay, I just want to make sure because last time you broke up, I'm just make sure. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
like Skarmory. I think it's really cool. Good. I love the design, and I think that's a really cool idea. I think the shiny
It is.
sucks though. They just make so much
Oh, yeah.
weird green shinies. Oh, here's another absolute peak design, Houndoom. Houndoom's awesome. I love Houndoom. It's a hellhound.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I
Love
really
it.
like it. The coloration's cool. I like the design. The one thing I think is horrible about it though is that for some stupid reason they make it like in the Johto games you can only get it in Kanto. Like you can
Really?
only get in Kanto, and even in a lot of like games without it you can only get Houndoom like late game areas, which is so stupid to me. Cause so you can
Yeah,
never
that is.
use it. Cause like let's see. Uh in Gen 2 it was like in Gen 2 was like late after you beat the Elite Four. Gen 3 and Emerald was until Elite Four. In Platinum you were actually able to use it, but then you can't use it anywhere else again. Which is so stupid to me. Only in generation 9 were you ever able to really use it that much. Like it's right at the start of the game, and that's the one thing that I will say about Scarlet and Violet is good, that they gave Houndoom love. And I'm really happy
Yeah.
about that one.
I
Huh.
love those Pokemon both. Houndour and Houndoom. They're just both amazing.
They're absolutely awesome. And like Houndoom actually has a really good mega. It's just sad because like it gets outclassed because there's all the other megas. So why would you want to use that over any other mega? Because you can only use one mega at a time, right? But the mega is genuinely
Right.
really good. Like it's a genuinely really good Pokemon that you can use it for really well. Because you're really fast, you're really strong, you have nasty plot, you have so many things that can work really well. I just wish it had more love, you know?
Yeah. He does look really badass though.
Yeah. In Kingdra, this is the one Pokemon that we were talking about earlier, where I wish they kept the beta design. I really, really wish that they kept the beta design. Because
Looks as a
I
beta.
genuinely grown to dislike it more and more after seeing the beta design. Because I showed you it, right? And this thing's
Yeah, you.
awesome.
It looks super cool.
I love it. I wish they kept it so much. Like, I genuinely really wish they kept it. I really like it. It would probably be my favorite dragon type of all time. Like, I genuinely really
Yeah.
like it. And I think it fits Seadra a lot more. Because how they usually make like evolutions, usually they would have like the baby Pokemon being like cute, and they will evolve into something like cool or fearsome or ferocious, something like that, or they'll make it like beautiful or something like that type of thing. But Horseus is a weird like evolutionary line because like Horsey starts as cute to fierce and ferocious to majestic, and I don't like that. It makes no
Yeah.
sense to me.
It's weird. It kind of just looks spindly.
It
Kingdra
it
does
genuinely looks less fierce than
than
Seadra.
Seadra.
Wait,
It does.
real quickly. Oh shoot, Seadra hits the same amount of damage as Kingdra actually. They both have a base 95 attack stat. What the heck? I never realized that.
What is the point?
Bro, like, it's one of those things where, like, the typing thing that makes it better, I guess. Like, 'cause, like, Dragon Water is genuinely one of the best typings in the game. It's really good. But, like, I really wish that they kept this design. Like, it's so cool. Like, it's genuinely so cool. I love it. And it fits really well with Seadra. So I wish they kept it, and that's like one of the reasons why I really don't really like Kingdra no more. Like I used to really like Kingdra, but I don't really like it anymore. Seeing what we're missing out from it, you know?
Look what they did, my boy.
Like genuinely. Like I don't think it's a bad design, but I think the beta design was much better. Anyways, Sage, very Sage. Moving on. We're almost done. We're almost done. Sheesh, how much? This is 2 hours long already. Yeesh.
Oh shoot.
Like I think our last one was like 2 hours too. But
Yeah.
Phanpy and Dawn, I like them. I think they're really solid Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think
Especially Donphan. I like
Donphan's
how he's
cool.
retired.
Like that's just like a fun thing where it just rolls around. Like I like that people like ride it by just by with it rolling around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good one.
he's a really solid Pokemon. I really like it. Porygon
They
2.
definitely
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pokemon
You can
to
go. You can keep
sorry.
going. Sorry.
They definitely picked the right Pokemon to showcase Paradox forms.
Oh yeah, I think Donphan probably has the best Paradox form of all of them. I think a lot of the Paradox form genuinely, genuinely has so many missed opportunities. Like
It
genuinely,
does.
because let's quickly look at them real quickly. I think out of the ones I like, Great Tusk, Sliverwind. I grew to like Sandy Shocks because I like how it plays, and then not really any of the future forms, and I like Walking Wake. I think a lot of them have
Yeah,
missed opportunities.
absolutely.
Also, why did they not give us like a any kind of like past forms of any of the any fossil Pokemon, like Aerodactyl or anything? I
I
never understood that.
know.
It's so easy. Just make Aerodactyl like a dragon type and a dragon flying or whatever, and you're there. Why did they never give Aerodactyl one?
It
Like
was
that makes
tragic.
no sense to me. Like it genuinely makes no sense to me. Like they took out fossil Pokemon for Paradox forms, right? But you don't even have any of the prehistoric fossil Pokemon that everyone wants to see. Why? It just makes no sense to me. But I'm glad that you actually brought that up because that's actually something that I think is true.
Yeah,
Because outside of like the Donphan forms, the other ones kind of just suck. But yeah,
yeah.
anyways, moving on to Porygon 2. Oh my gosh, wait. Before we talk about Porygon 2, I want to show you the beta form of Porygon 2. Uh, beta Porygon 2. What the heck? Beta
Yes, I
Porygon 2.
recognize.
This is beta Porygon 2.
Oh, I've
A
seen that.
lion.
I love it.
Like, I kind of understand the idea of it, because, like, it's a duck that turns into a lion. It makes no sense. But, like, if you think about, like, computer programs, it kind of makes sense, kind of. But I love Porygon 2 so much more. Like, I love, like, like, how they made Porygon 2 so much more. I like Porygon 2 a lot more than Porygon Z. Like, I genuinely really like Porygon 2. Maybe it's because I think Porygon 2 is actually much better than Porygon Z. Like, actually, it's genuinely better because it's more bulky and it's fun to use. But I just like Porygon 2. It's just so solid.
Yeah, it's a definitely a glow up line.
I also like the idea of Porygon Z being corrupted. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
Um, moving on to Stantler. Stantler's just a deer. Like, not even like a way where it's like Ursaring where it's cool, but like it's just a deer.
my biggest issue with it
Is that it's
is
not a
it's a
psychic type?
deer with one single ass cheek.
Oh my god. They give it such
I
a weird
never
tail. Like full on.
It doesn't look like a deer tail. It's too big and too bulbous, and I don't understand it.
I just don't like
It's
it. Also, the shiny's ugly. The shiny's absolutely ugly. Look at this shiny. Ew.
shiny.
Piss green.
Oh, it's a lot more lime green than I thought it was, but
I don't
it's
like
not
it at
good.
all. I don't like it at all. I don't know. Samus just mid. Like, it's another one of those really mid Pokemon that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it's not like a psychic type either, because like you see the Pokedex entries and it talks about psychic type energy. But like again, it's mid. I guess I didn't want to make like a Stantler and Drefrig who's both normal and psychic types, so that makes sense, but still Also, here's another gimmick Pokemon, Smeargle. So, Gen 2 actually has 2 gimmick Pokemon.
I like Smeargle.
I think Smeargle's a fun idea. I think it's genuinely a fun idea. Like, it can use any other move by copying it. I think that's genuinely really fun. And Smeargle's actually fun, because they didn't give it really broken stats, which would make it really annoying. The stats are pretty bad, but it's actually useful because it can use any move at all, which I think really makes it actually fun. Like it actually makes it a fun Pokemon to use. They balance the
Yeah,
fact that it can use any move, and I think it's really fun. Oh, would I put it above Ditto though? I think I would put it in the same tier as Ditto, honestly, because I think they're both really fun in different ways. What about you?
I would also say I wouldn't say it's above Ditto, but it's still a very solid Pokemon. I enjoy it.
It's high up there with Ditto, I feel. I think Gen 1 still rises above Gen 2 or Gen 2 of gimmicks. Uh here's here's some of the baby Pokemon that I'm actually genuinely okay with. I like Tyrogue. I think Tyrogue is a good baby Pokemon. But I also think Elekid and Magviews is genuinely really good like baby Pokemon to add.
I think they're really cool, especially Elekid.
Yeah, like
I mean,
like
like
they generally like added onto them that would make sense. Like they generally make
yeah,
sense to have baby Pokemon, and it's unlike something like Clefable, right? I feel like that's another one. It's one of those things where a lot of baby Pokemon fail with. You gave it to Pikachu, Clefairy, Jigglypuff. Where are some of the other ones that they have? Is that all? Okay, yeah, that's all. They gave it to Pokemon that made no sense to have it. Elekid and Magby generally make sense, and it's not even like they're useless before you get like Magmar or Mag or Electabuzz, because they're decently fast. They can actually do damage while you use them until you evolve them. So that's something I like more than the other baby Pokemon. They
yeah.
don't seem like pointless, you know? And they generally have good designs. Like they're not just like full on just smaller versions. Except for Pichu, I think Pichu has a good design, but Cleffa and Igglypuff, they're
Yeah.
full on just smaller versions of them, like full on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's
but like I hate Smoochum. Smoochum's ugly. I want to kick it. I don't like it at all.
the sun.
I don't like Smoochum. I don't like Smoochum. Like, look at this thing. This is so ugly. Um, okay, but
Whoa,
him on top. What's your thoughts on him on top? Go.
him on top. Super dope Pokemon. I like how it needs balanced stats for a Tyrogue to evolve into it,
Wrong.
and I think
Wrong. Wrong. You should
it,
have said Beyblade. Let it rip.
Beyblade, let it
Beyblade,
rip.
let it
I
rip. But
pick.
yeah,
What?
I really like how it evolves too. I genuinely really like it. It's generally really solid. It's just so hard to evolve it though, because you have to get equal attack and defense, and that's just annoying. That's a one annoying thing. Even though I think the evolution is really cool, it's really annoying to get it.
It's awful.
It's it's very inconvenient if you want to use it in a playthrough too. Because like, how are you supposed to like get it? You have to use like I remember like when I was playing like Sun and Moon, I was trying to get a Tyro to like use in a playthrough. Like I had like breeded stuff and I would bring it from a Pokemon Bank, right? And
Right.
I would want to use it, but like it was so hard. I would have to get like vitamins to actually use it. And that's just not fun to use, you know? That's the one thing I think
Mm.
him on top of is weak to. Uh Going next is Milk Tank. This is a cow. I guess it's a cow. I don't really have any strong feelings for it, do you?
No, I don't have issues with it. It's just kind of, yeah,
It's
it
just
really is just out.
it's just there.
Yeah.
I also feel like the
Blissey.
same I feel the same with Blissey
Mm.
too.
Blissey is my just worst nightmare in Pokemon Go. It's just awful. It's terrible. I wish it would die. But other than that,
I generally don't like Blissey or Chansey, mainly because it was just so unfun to like battle against them. Like I'm glad that they're not good in Generation 9 anymore because they're just not fun to battle against. Like that's something I genuinely believe. I don't like battling against these guys because they just live forever and their whole gimmick is just living forever. They're just stalling and it's not too fun to battle against. I don't like them for that. And that's full on like a biased standpoint of like not even the designs. Like I don't even like designs that much. But I just don't like Chansey because I think they're just not fun to battle against.
yeah, Blissey, Blissies are just awful. They are
It's
just
just not.
terrible to
It's
battle
just
against.
not fun. Okay, so now, before we go into other legendaries, let's do pseudo legendaries like we did last time.
Yeah,
Um, Tyranitar, really, really good, really solid. Like I love
it's
Tyranitar.
love it. It's
Really good,
come on.
despite its horrible typing. Like Rock and Dark is one of the worst typings in the game by far. It still managed to be really, really good throughout the generations. Sandstorm was awesome. It's sad because it actually went down to RU in this generation. It went back to UU, but even that, it's so sad that it's been OU ever since it was made, and now it just went down.
Yeah.
But I'm going to rank Tyranitar and the whole Tyranitar line because I like it a lot more than Dragonite. I'm going to put it above Gen 1 Pseudo Legendaries.
Yeah.
Also, it's not a rock or it's not a dragon type, which is something I think is awesome.
Yeah. That's a big plus.
I would give Tyranitar a 9 out of 10 for pseudo legendaries. And for
Yeah.
and Dragonite, I would probably put like a 7.5 maybe, just because I think it's fun to use, but I don't really care for the design.
Gotcha.
Now you can go. Sorry.
I would also give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's probably my second favorite pseudo legendary, I think.
And you're gonna put and you put it you put it you said like Dragonite's your favorite Pokemon, so like Dragonite's going to be above it, right?
Obviously, yeah.
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 I just want to like keep track of everything because like the whole thing is like we're going to be ranking them between other regions too, so like that's
Right.
what we're doing. Now we're going
Yeah.
to switch into legendaries. First off with the first trio. Entei, Raikou, and Entei. really, really solid Pokemon. I really like them. Like Entei is one of my favorite Pokemon of all legendary Pokemon, and I think it's very underrated. Like I think they're very, very underrated. I like the legendary beast. I think they're all really cool, and I can't wait to see Entei's new form. Also, Giraffe Flower Raikou. What's it
I've
called?
do it and accepted it. I don't know. It's like something thunder, probably.
Paradox
Oh,
Raikou. That's all I need to look up.
yeah.
It
I like how it kind of looks like its head is like up in storm clouds, though.
is a really cool idea. Like this makes
It
it
was
look
a
a
cool,
lot more cooler, you know? I think
right?
it might just be a really bad screenshot, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're all like uh
It was,
supposed to be like dinosaurs, right? So like that's really cool.
yeah.
But
I hate how the legendary swords are just
they're just robots.
robot.
Like that's all the future forms though. They're all robots.
Sucks.
It's just so stupid. Like freaking what's his name? Iron Jugulus. It sounds like a balls. Like honestly, it just sounds like a dick joke. Honestly,
Iron
what if that's the
Jugulus.
whole
These
reason
no.
why they made it? Is
So these
Jugulus even a
done.
real word?
Yeah, it's like the. It's like I think it has something to do with biting. Jugular is like your neck artery, I think. So I don't know.
Let me just.
Slurp these nuts down your eyeless.
If one says like it means my neck,
Great.
that's full on like the. That's so stupid. But no, this is such a bad design. Like it's genuinely, it's full on just it's just um Hydreigon. You're gonna make it really cool, like making it an actual tank, like a full on like tank, like it was supposed to be. But you ruined it. Like there's just so many missed opportunities. I think
So ass.
Paradox. I actually think Paradox Hariyama and like Paradox uh Iron Valiant is
Iron
actually pretty good.
uh, Paradox are probably the two really good ones.
Yeah. Cause like you look at something like you look at all these, it's like what's the difference? Like uh Delibird is just the freaking it's just robot. So I think Iron Moth probably looks like better of them. But why is it poison though? That makes no sense.
I don't know, but I do like how it looks like solar panels. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
Also, why is it not why is uh the Tyranitar one not steel? Like at all? There's no
Right.
rock to it. And I generally think like the future past forms are much
That's
better though. Like they're genuinely so much better. Anyways, we can get to these whenever we go to Generation 9. I think part of the reason why it's so long is that we were going into random topics too.
yeah, we did.
Oh my gosh, real
Oh
quickly
yeah.
though,
So
I do want to talk about the beta of the legendary beast.
I've never seen these.
Look at these guys. They're just dogs.
Oh snap!
Like full
Huh.
honestly, I'm glad that they changed it because like these guys just look lame. Like they just look so basic. Like
Yeah.
genuinely. Like look, why would you ever choose these guys over these final forms?
Right.
Like I'm really glad that they kept it out. I'm glad that they changed it, and I think the legendary beast is probably some of the best legendary trios in the game. I would put them above the legendary birds. Like, I would give them like a solid maybe like 8 or 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I'd give them a 9 out of 10. Sure.
Because they just look really cool. They look really cool. And
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not a huge the other ones.
real quickly, let me. I think like
Birds.
them being a pure type is fine too. It's not one of those Pokemon where it's like, why is it not a dual typing? Like these are good, solid pure types, you know?
Yeah.
All right, sorry, you can go what you're talking about. Sorry.
I would put them higher than the legendary birds,
Yeah,
is what
for
I was
sure,
gonna
for
say.
sure. And then lastly, the box art legendaries and Celebi. So the box arts, I think they're solid. They're solid. Uh, Lugia's super cool and Ho-Ho's pretty solid. I like them. Um, I still think Lugia should have been a water type. I think everyone thinks it should be a water type, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, like I understand why they gave it the psychic typing because they think like, oh, psychic was the best typing, psychic was supposed to be like the powerful type. But now it's like,
Right.
And the funny thing is, psychic as of recently has become one of the weaker types in the game. Actually, like it's generally not that strong anymore.
It's not very good.
So it's like
They've definitely.
it also like aged very poorly.
Yeah.
So it not being a water type is a huge, huge downside. Hopefully we get some kind of like new forms for them where they give them like a water typing where like it should be. And if we were to get something like new Johto games where they're not psychic or not water type, I think everyone would be upset, like full on.
Yeah.
I think the ideas of like Ho making the legendary beasts and Lugia being the guardian of the bird trio is really really cool. I think that's a really cool idea.
I do like those ideas a lot.
Though we have gotten those already with actually we get this so much though now actually now I realize you have Regigigas, you have uh Rayquaza, you have Arceus, so it's like and
Yeah, but
yeah,
honestly,
you also have
it should be.
Lando and everyone, so like it's not too special anymore. Now I think about it. But I think it was a cool design though.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should knock it down. So where would you put like would you rank Mewtwo higher than Lugia and Ho-Oh? I would personally put
Oh,
Ho and Lugia higher than Mewtwo.
so I put Ho-Oh and uh Mewtwo on the same level, and Lugia just slightly lower.
Really? That's interesting. I feel like everyone likes Lugia more than a Ho-Oh.
Not. Yeah. I mean, like, I just like Ho-Oh a lot more. To be
No, no,
honest.
that's fair. I just never heard anyone saying like they like Ho-Oh more.
Yeah.
That's
He's a
really
cool dude.
interesting. I like Lugia more personally just because I think the design is cooler and I like more reptilian Pokemon. So and it's like more of a it's more reptilian, so like that's cool to me.
Fair enough.
And Celebi, eh, I don't really care for it. It dies to a bug. Like full on, just dies to a bug bite. I would
I
definitely put
really
Mew
hope.
I would put Mew
I,
way above it because honestly, time traveling's cool, but like Mew is like the ancestor of every Pokemon, which is so much cooler. And just the fact that Mew is like the Pokemon that everyone is trying to find to like replicate and everything is just so much more cooler to me than Celebi.
yeah. Um. I've been seeing like a bunch of fan art of Paradox Celebi where it's like both past and future, and that would be really cool if they end up doing that.
Paradox
Uh,
Celebi? I don't
yeah,
even
so
know if that
it's
would make sense though to give it.
but since he's like a time traveler,
Yeah.
it looks
Like, is
it's
this the one?
no, it's actually go up and to the right,
This one?
down, just below there, that one. Nope,
This
up.
one?
Yep,
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
right.
That's a really cool idea. I don't know how that would work though.
It doesn't in a perfect it doesn't work, but I think it's cool.
Like, no, it's really cool. I genuinely think it's really cool. But I just don't know how it would work since it's a time traveler.
Yeah.
Like, it's a genuinely really cool idea. I really like it. Like, honestly, I see all the fan arts of Paradox forms, and they're just so much better than original ones.
Oh yeah.
Like, full on. But yeah, I guess that's all of the Gen 2 Pokemon. So we finally finished it. Next
We
time
did it.
will be Gen 3. I don't know when we'll be making it. It really depends when we're both free, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, any last statements you want to make? Oh wait, we need to rank the whole region by itself. And we have to rank it to where we would put it in Gen 1, you know?
Right.
So
Um
my thing is that, like I was saying, Gen 2 have a lot of really high highs and a lot of low lows. Well, Kanto was very consistent in my opinion. Like all of them were
mhm.
like they didn't have like any like super huge standout Pokemon, but they were all really solid in my opinion, like for the most part. Meanwhile, Gen 2 is very inconsistent of the quality. But the Pokemon I
Yeah.
like in here, I like a lot more than I like the Pokemon in Kanto, so it's kind of hard to choose. Kanto is very consistent, while Johto has a lot of really good ones, but also really bad ones. As a whole, I guess I would. That's really hard, actually. You go first. You go first. I have to think about my opinion.
Okay. I tend to rate things very optimistically. Um but you know, since that's not really how it works, I think it's got to be like I'd give it I'd say like 4 out of 10. It's got some great Pokemon, but it just really is not the best.
Right. The thing is, well, I do think a lot of the Pokemon hold it down. There's just so many good Pokemon. Uh, for me, I want to say maybe like it's either like a 6 or a 7 for me. And the only thing that holds it back is a really bad Pokemon that doesn't make any sense. And I think a lot of the Pokemon don't really work for the roles that they're supposed to serve. So, yeah, I think I would have to put it below Kanto. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna change my Kanto rating from an 8, or change it from a 7.8 to a 8, and I'm going to put this at like 7. So I think
Fair enough.
Kanto has the best Pokemon compared to this one. So
Okay,
the high, but I think Johto has a higher highs, but the lower lows.
gotcha. Interesting. All right.
So yeah, that's my opinion. Next time, Gen
There.
3, and ooh, we should not,
Big.
we should worry because Gen 3 fans are generally like the most like loving of their like region. Like Gen 3 fans are very passionate, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I think it might be the best region. At least my
Yeah,
favorite.
fair enough. Fair enough. I think the games are really fun. I'm I'm mixed between the Pokemon. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah,
Me.
Next time will be Gen 3. Do you have any ending statements?
Not much. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, like and
Appreciate it.
subscribe for real, for real. But yeah.
All right.
All right,
See
we'll
you
see you next time. Probably in a few weeks, probably.
later. Yeah.
Okay, bye bye.